All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the meeting of the Board of Selectmen for October 3rd. We started at 6:30. Discussion with the DPW Director. Brings us to 7:17. We'll have the Pledge of Allegiance.
Benji, can you open that door, please? What's that?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Public comment.
Hello, everybody.
How are you?
I'm good. After last week's meeting, I hear different things, and I'm here with a concern for the bridge.
River Road Bridge.
Yes. And I did come here a few months ago and mentioned I'd love to see it, the repair of the bridge visited, and I think possibly you are doing that at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know that. I guess I'm here to find out that.
Okay.
I guess I want to put my own 2 cents in. To repair the bridge, I'd love to see, and I don't know what you have in place right now.
Do you want an update or no?
I'd like an update
Okay.
of what's going on, but I would ask that to know how it's handled to a point. Are we going to employ someone, one person, to oversee, whether it be bids, the repair of? And who knows, at this point, I don't think anybody knows if repairing the bridge is I believe it is, but I certainly don't know that's the practical route to go. So would the town selectmen appropriate to get someone with credentials to put the beams, the deck, oversee it, have all day to talk with, to get bids, so we could sit here 3 weeks from now and know what it would cost to repair the bridge, so we know if because we've just visited a lot of other avenues, and I don't believe those have worked out just right. Now we're going to visit this one, but I'm begging that we do visit it, and I don't know how any one of the selectmen, maybe you do, maybe you don't, have time to oversee. That's a full-time job, to oversee the scope of work. I'm going to ask a favor. Is there any way that you would put in a board? What is the name for it, gentlemen?
Like committee?
A committee, thank you. An advisory committee to meet once a week with whoever can do these bids, so we know something is being done. It's not just a problem for me, it's also a problem for the citizens on the side. I'm sending all that traffic in one direction. Over the years, it was very hard to talk customers into going left into 77 to 89 to 93. We had it going very good. There wasn't this problem. Now there's a lot of problems. So I think time is of the essence.
Mm-hmm.
What are the chances of and I would volunteer for the committee, or I'd con my mechanical engineer daughter into it, or maybe both of us, of getting a committee going.
That hasn't been thought of. Well, I don't want to interrupt.
No.
Okay.
I love an answer.
So,
It has or hasn't been thought of?
the committee has not.
Okay.
Appointing someone to oversee the project, yes, that has been. That is not here. That's not this board, but somebody that's does bridges for a living.
Yep.
Yeah, that has definitely been. That's kind of I'm speaking as one member here, but yes, that has definitely been considered.
Okay.
And is looking like that's what we were going to do.
And that one person, hey, I'm not a mechanical engineer, but I have common sense, and I know pricing, and I know steel, and I'd hate to see the town spend a pile of money they don't need to. I'd like to somehow be kept abreast, and I was thinking this committee could do that, and that person could meet with that committee. A committee of 3 or 4 people. Hopefully townspeople, hopefully one of the selectmen. for, 15 minutes a week or something, to look at what avenue we're gonna take. I think I'm fairly common sense and I'm very cheap or practical. And I'd love to see us as a town fix the bridge without assistance from the feds or the state. And hopefully spend less money doing it. A bridge abutment is a huge expense. From anything I've been told, the bridge abutments are fine. The sides of the bridge that support the bridge are fine. We need a lousy deck. It's an erector set. It's not tough, and it's not rocket science. Excuse me. In the interim, you have us, we are going out River Road and up the dirt road. What the hell's the name?
Buzzell Hill.
Buzzell Hill. Why are we not allowed to use Peasley and East Street? Why do we have to, why are we going up a little single dirt road?
Well, you're using East Street, right?
Yes,
you're
but
going
we
up
can't
Buzzell.
go- But we can't go up
Only when we get down
Peasley.
there, to end of Buzzell, can't use Peasley Hill.
We're going through the cemetery, down the dirt road. We've got a paved road just down the street. Why is that?
How did that no-through trucks route come around? I forget.
I don't know how it did, but when the bridge was fixed, that you removed them until it was fixed.
So
And you
we-
let them use it.
So we temporarily lifted it last time?
You did.
Okay.
So I'm asking if we can't temporarily remove it this time. And then I'll get a lot of assistance from the people on that road having the bridge fixed. And then I just had a moment to speak with the chief, and I'm gonna plead to the board. 24 years ago, the acting chief went down through there and lowered the speed limits on River Road, 10 miles an hour in every zone. I would ask any of you to drive down there doing the speed limit. But all that did is, if the trucks are doing the speed limit, the passenger cars are passing the trucks. It's ridiculously slow. Not all zones, but parts of it. They were just reduced to try and see how it would help. It didn't help. It hurt it. So, I can't stand following a truck down River Road at the speed limit. What would it take to find out if we could construct such a committee?
I think it would be a discussion at this board level to find out if we could.
Okay. So what else can I say to push the issue or ask for an answer?
Give us a chance to talk about it first.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. I thank you.
He answered about the direction we're going.
Yeah.
He asked that question, I haven't got to see him, usually I see him in Blackbird once a week.
Yeah, I got kind of upset with you last time, Benji, and asked you why you hadn't fixed that bridge 3 months ago. It was a 2-week job, and why isn't it done?
I remember.
I remember. So, can you give us like 15 minutes?
Yeah,
So we can finish public comment, and he's first on department heads, and he can give an update?
okay. Yep, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chris.
Public comment?
How's it going? I'm Killian. I live at 65 North Stark, and I'm the owner of K&R Disposal out of Weare. I run a weekly curbside pickup in town, and I've been hearing through the grapevine there were some questions about me bringing trash into town that was from out of town. So I'm kind of here to clear the air on that. I do Weare on Tuesdays. Both my trucks go out. It stays in Weare. Do Weare. Only Weare trash goes to Weare. Thursdays are my other days that I do my other towns, which are New Boston, Henniker, Hillsborough, Deering, and Dumbarton. And I specifically chose Thursdays because the transfer station in Weare is closed, so there wouldn't be any talk or really any issues about that. It makes no sense for me to go into Deering or Hillsborough or Henniker or something and then come back into Weare. And I deliver all those towns' trash to H2O, or Granite State Recycling, off of B&B Lane. So technically it does come back to Weare, but does not go to the Weare transfer station. Someone from the select board called my vendor today, or maybe over the weekend, Granite State Recycling, and was asking them about me, what days I go in there, all sorts of questions about my business. So, I'm kind of here to ask why.
Who was it? It wasn't me. If you think it was, you're.
They identified themselves as a select person,
it
as a
wasn't-
selectman, so
It was,
I don't,
it was not this select person did not call anyone today. And never had.
and it was you,
and-
I'm just
and
asking the
never
board.
had.
Then someone's pretending to be you guys and calling about trash, because they pulled me aside when I went in and dumped my dump trailers this morning and said, hey, select person called and asking what trash I'm bringing in there and what days, and, I mean, I spend anywhere from $1,200 to $2,000 a week down there, and I have all the weight slips and all the tickets to prove it. When I do a junk removal job in Weare, I don't even bring it to the Weare transfer station. I bring it right down to H2O.
I never
So
said,
I did not name any names, I'm just saying in general.
why don't we go down through the list then? Because I'm just telling you, it wasn't me.
I wouldn't be here if it wasn't told to me.
Okay, well, I'm just clearing the
So-
air. This select person did not call anyone today in regards to you and never has. You and I have only had one conversation, and it was really constructive.
I agree, that's why I was kind of shocked. I mean, I wouldn't be here and wouldn't be asking if it wasn't an issue, you know? I don't, no offense, I don't really want to be here, but I'm here because it's talking about my business
Very good.
and asking questions about my business, whoever this was, this person from the select board, so,
can say
I don't
it
know,
wasn't me, because I don't know your business, I don't know where you dropped.
I didn't know
yeah,
you
no,
went to
no,
H2O.
absolutely, I'm just throwing it out there that someone had called and done that, and, I can ask them if they can pull up on their caller ID and get a number and go from there, I guess. With that,
I'd strongly recommend that.
well,
because-
absolutely, I'd
Well, I think,
go and do.
yeah.
Kind of one other thing, since I'm up here already, there was a vote to, probably a couple months back, 3 months back, on, clear plastic bags going to the transfer station. There was a motion to be put in. The, department head was not there at the time. I think, as a board in general, when motions are made about departments, that the, department head should be there. I hope you don't do it to the police chief or the fire chief, or you did it to Director Knapp, and I just want to say that is extremely unprofessional, and he wasn't here to say yay or nay. So, that is all I have.
Thank you, Killian. Any other public comment? There being none, we'll move forward. To department head committee items. Mr. Knapp, you are up.
Well, last week was kind of a mess with the meeting, because we kept having, public hearings, and we had 2 minutes in between, but before I forget again tonight, I want to thank my assistant, Joe Sarno, for his years of service. He retired this last Thursday, and I'm gonna miss him a lot. He did so much for me, could answer the questions, simple questions the public called in at, and didn't have to go back to shop so early and answer phone calls that had easy answers, so. I hope he retires the third time he's retired, second time working for me, so, or you guys, so hopefully I told him he's welcome to come back after his retirement period.
We wish him the best.
He
Yes.
told me
Yeah.
no uncertain terms he's not coming back, and I don't blame him, so. Thank you, Joe.
No,
I just had a couple, little comments, but while we're talking about the bridge, so I don't keep Mr. Bolton any longer. Last week, we talked, Chris, there was 100 options that was thrown out there by the engineer, what we could do, and, I suggested, and the board decided to move forth, we're gonna get quotes for fixing the bridge on our own money, without waiting for the Fed money. It's too far out for the Fed money, we're not even sure if we would get it this decade. We do have the money, hopefully, to fix it, depending on what they come back at, and we're gonna have, somebody's gonna help us write, well, they're gonna probably do it for us, but help us write up the RFP and for proposals and the whole 9 yards, it won't be us,
And this is somebody that we've used in the past for another bridge project, right?
right?
Yes.
What is that name?
I'm sorry.
And what is the name?
Tom Marshall's been helping us,
That's what I was gonna ask, Benji.
yes.
I don't know if I can openly speak or not.
Well, say, if you got anything else left to say.
So, and I haven't heard back from Tom because I responded back to him late last week. We feel that, he said whether we do a quick fix or temporary bridge or anything else, nothing's gonna happen till springtime. Whether we fix the bridge, put a temporary bridge in, all those things we talked about, nothing's gonna happen till spring anyway. He said with the contractors and winter coming. So he said, why don't we just wait till spring and fix, it was one of the suggestions, and I said, would that be the way to go? Fix the bridge where it sets.
I'm trying to bite my tongue, I wanna talk.
Go ahead. Might as well get this over with.
Pretty easy to say, why don't we just wait till spring?
Does the board wanna allow?
Well, it is, but
Mr. Bolton?
he can't get nobody to do the work. I'd love to have it done tomorrow. I don't know what we're gonna do this winter. We're either gonna close our eyes and go over or go around it. I mean, it kills me too, but if no one's gonna do the work, unless you know someone's gonna do the work, we're gonna try to send it out and see if somebody will do it now, but he said there's a fat chance.
Right, so, does the board in agreement, we let Mr. Bolton speak?
Well,
Benji, slide right over, we can all talk.
All right?
Hey, it's easy to say, we can't get anybody till the spring. That's why I'd like some sort of advisory committee. Pretty hard to believe, I see people build bridges in the winter in this state all the time. And we're not building a bridge, we're repairing one.
Right.
It is an erector set. It's not rocket science.
No, I agree.
You could do the base and hire someone to do a deck. Very doable. I could do it. I would do it. I would have done it. I'm gonna go back and ask that we consider this board. I'd like to be part of it, and I do bring a real engineer to the party, as long as she says yes. But then I'm gonna ask, who's got construction background in the board? And I know through North Branch, who I did business with for years, and I'd love for Mr. Cahill to be on the board if possible. I'd like Benji to be on the board. If it doesn't amount to anything, it's gonna be 15 minutes a week, but I find it hard to believe we can't get someone to cut the deck off that and put it all together with a time frame. Deck comes off. Beams are cut. They've gone out to bid, they're at the town shed, they're at the job, wherever they may be. You own all the land around the bridge, so there's plenty of room for staging. A crane comes in, you put them in place, you put the bolts in. And a company comes in, puts a deck on it. Maybe they don't finish the deck because of pavement restrictions, but it would be a usable, doable bridge. It might not be top coated. And I can't understand why that can't be done this year, with the exception of can we get the steel for the beams?
Well, that's why I gotta send out the request for proposal first, to see who bids on it. That's the first process. Before that, he's got to see what permits it needs now. Now, he's working above the water, he's hoping he gets away from any sort of wetland permit. Unfortunately, it's over the Piscataquag River, and I think it's more protected than the Nile. They have more rules over that stupid thing.
Gotta have a diaper, I'm sure.
Yep.
Why are we wondering? We're gonna put a diaper under the bridge when we do the repair.
That's what we're paying this guy to look in and see what we need. I don't have those answers.
Yep. Well, could he be, if the town's gonna hire him, why couldn't he meet with this little board?
I don't see why you wouldn't be able to.
Can't see how it couldn't be a benefit. I ask you to please take it into consideration. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris.
Only other thing I had was, I know budget season's coming up, or it's here, and raises are always a topic of discussion. We call them cost of living raises. Usually we ask for 3% typically. I don't know what you guys will pick this year, doesn't matter. I've heard that we're gonna go back into doing the evaluations. I worked here when we had evaluations. I think they're constructive. I just don't think if you're gonna hand out a flat across the board cost of living raise that you should then do an evaluation and take that 3% down to 2%. I'm sure the general public is sick of hearing it, but it's still a fact. We're still least my department, I don't speak for anybody else's department, I've gotten in trouble for doing that before, but, you know, still on the low end of payment. We're not up here crying about it, I'm not saying that we should get more than anyone else, but if you're gonna give 3%, give all my guys 3%, and the rest of the townspeople that fall under, or town workers that fall under that. Just give them the 3%. If we wanna, you know, do a step raise or a bigger bag of money that then is given on step raises and that, or on evaluations rather than that's different, but just my suggestion as one department head, cause it, however much you guys put on there for a raise is up to you guys, no one department head, so I just wanna put my input. And then I found this article, and I found it interesting. I know this town of Barrington, New Hampshire, they're very close in our population, and they got very close to the same amount of ARPA money as us. If after all your other projects are done, and there's any left over, they gave, the Board of Selectmen voted to give bonuses to, the town workers that worked through COVID, and many of us weren't part of that, original, the hell did they call it, first responders. I know they made DPW first responders after they gave the money out. They gave $5,000 to 4 dozen employees. They got about the same as us. If there's any left over, just want to throw that out there to maybe throw everybody a little bone for putting up with everything. Thank you. I'll get out of here.
Thank you, Ben.
Chris, to your point, we'll probably discuss that towards the end, correspondence, other business. So, all right?
Please, Tim, thank you. East Street to, Beasley.
Written down front of the same.
All right. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we will move on to appointment of representative for PRLAC. I believe that is I'm sorry.
Mine, as department head,
Yep, we're still under department heads,
okay.
so,
Did you have something?
yeah. But we'll do Keith.
Yeah.
He's on the,
He was on the agenda. He
Right.
called earlier.
right.
So I'm here for you.
This is the Piscataquag River, right?
Correct.
Okay, I thought,
Speaking of the Piscataquag.
I saw it, so I'm looking at it going, I think that's what that is, but,
Yeah,
So-
Dick Lutter's retired.
right,
Yeah,
Resigned.
there you go.
exactly, so.
The chairwoman of the committee called me up a few weeks ago. I happened to know her through the State House. And said, why don't you come down to one of our meetings? I did a couple of weeks back. And it's something I'd be interested in doing if you want me to.
Yeah.
To take the place of the gentleman that had served for apparently 30 years.
Yeah, he's been on there for a long time, right?
28,
28 years.
28, okay.
28 years, yeah.
In that ballpark.
Yeah.
Does the board have any questions for Mr. Irv?
No.
I'll move that we appoint Keith Irv for the representative for the Piscataqua River Land, I forget what the hell the other ones are.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Advisory committee.
yes, for the advisory committee. There we go.
Second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor?
Yes.
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 Thank
Thank
you
you.
for volunteering.
Yes, appreciate it.
Thanks, Keith.
I'll work with you on the.
Yep.
Thanks for coming
Thank
out.
you.
Thank you, Keith.
C2?
Some staple. I got some surplus equipment and pieces and parts over there that we'd like to surplus. I've got 2 different lots of stuff. One of them is going to the White Farm, and the other one is going to a gentleman that we've worked with in the past
Going down.
that basically has containers, and whatever he gets, he knows these foreign countries that need stuff, and he puts the stuff in the containers going to that place. We worked with him with getting rid of our air packs. Our air packs went to the Dominican when we got those a few years ago. And there's some stuff up there that's no value to us, but value to somebody that doesn't have it. So that's why we split the lots up. A lot of the stuff going to the White Farm is like there's a couple of old radios that aren't narrow bandable, and some sirens and stuff that I don't even think it belonged to us. It was probably stuff that got dropped off, so. Just looking for the okay to send that stuff out.
Just one question, chief. The radios, have they been blanked by our radio people? And if they still work, I just don't
I
want
don't
people
even know if
talking
they
on them, that's all.
work, Rick. I really don't.
Okay.
I don't see any issue with this request.
I don't either.
Just getting some stuff cleaned up, that's all.
Does this take a motion because it's inventoried?
I believe because of disposal, I think just the amount, I think the fiscal amount, it's probably gonna puts us over the amount, between the two lists.
Do you want me to give Beth one?
Yeah, I had brought one for her.
I make a motion, we allow Chief Richards to submit these items as written to the appropriate, or to the designated auction house and distribution company.
Is there a second?
Second.
Moving second, all in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Kevin?
Yes.
No, abstain.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm gonna put the paperclip
Yeah,
where I found it.
why don't we leave that right there?
Thanks.
Thank you. Clay?
Down here. So, on one side, you have the photos at the top of our building, and I must say that I did have high expectations from Stockhouse Enterprises and their professional exemplary work, and I just must say this has even exceeded those expectations. You can see from the money that you approved a few weeks ago, they have trimmed the hedges on the south side, and it looked great. I think they did a great job. It looks like very much like a new and improved building. And so I'm here to ask for the north side. So the second and the third picture, this is again a reminder what looks like for the entrance. This is the entrance that most people, almost everybody, comes into the building through this, the north side entrance, that it's facing the parking lot. And as you can have seen and you're quite aware, it could use some work. So I did get an estimate from Stockhouse, which is on the other side, for them to, they will trim the bushes that we marked in pink, and the weed 2 beds left and right going down stairs to the building, and they'll haul off the materials, and the cost would be $575.
Clay, I was up there Sunday, and I would definitely agree with you on the south side. Absolutely night and day.
Right.
Absolutely looks amazing.
Yep.
It really pops that building, I think. It really does.
Yep. So I'm very appreciative of their work, and then again, for you guys for approving the funds, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I was there Sunday too, and it was perfect. The distance from the
The distance
building
is
to the
great.
back of the
Yeah.
shrub is excellent. There's good,
Yep,
and it couldn't look any better.
no, it really couldn't. So, what does the board think?
Yeah. Where's the money, where's the money gonna come from?
It would be from the building,
Maintenance.
not the government building maintenance fund, but the building maintenance lines within the budget,
Come out of his budget.
the town budget,
Town budget. Your budget.
our budget.
How much money is in that line right now, do we know?
You've lost me.
So when we make the motion
I
for a
don't know.
lot of them.
I don't know.
It comes out of the government building fund.
Right, this would come from each in the budget. There's department that has, building maintenance or et cetera, down through. It would come from those lines collectively.
And that's where the money came from for the south side repair, correct?
Correct, yeah, that didn't come out that fund either. Like when we do the major repairs, that comes from the actual government building maintenance fund. but that one did not come from there.
I think we need to do it.
Yeah, because I think I asked you, Clay, you've talked with the garden club, they're not interested in doing this.
They haven't committed to it, and it's just, occasionally they might do a job, but then they won't follow up on it. I think maybe several years ago they did one time.
Yeah.
But I can't really rely on them.
Well, the other thing is too, is this might be a little bit above their scope, right? I mean,
Right.
they may maintain, but this is actual go in, remove, reconstruct, reestablish. They may be able to maintain it once we get it to a point of
Yeah.
It looks abandoned.
repair. Huh?
It looks like an abandoned building right now.
In the front,
This picture.
from the front side it
This is
does.
the main entrance.
That's the main entrance, yeah.
Right.
You gonna include something for next year's budget to do this, in your budget?
Because it's gonna need to be maintained,
On
obviously.
maintenance.
I will consider it, yes. I haven't done my budget yet, but,
Okay.
yeah.
I make a motion that we give $575 to Stockhouse Enterprises to do the work at the library to the main entrance.
Is there a second?
To come out of what line?
Well,
I don't know which,
What we specified in the last motion, in the last.
We
You just said it out of your budget.
yeah, out of the budget.
out of the budget.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? There being none, all those in favor?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes,
Yes. Abstains? Noes?
No.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Wait, one thing before you
Oh,
go,
yes.
just to get, so we can shortcut any other communication, is the repair, the temporary shed repair for the protection of the chimney is in the works, and tentatively, next Monday, the actual inspection with the lift will happen,
Okay.
okay? And when you do work on your budget, I mean, your imagery here helps this conversation. When I was there Sunday, again, walked around the building, the new edition, the 86 edition, I think it's 86, is in desperate need of paint. Desperate need.
Right.
So you're gonna go from this to rotten wood soon. So please take a good hard look at that when you put your budget together,
Okay.
okay? Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Clay.
After the fact can go later.
Huh?
After the fact can go later. Romeo's not here.
Okay,
I have the stuff, but
okay, yeah, we can get everybody out of here. All right. Bring us Chief Moore.
I'd say I'd keep it short, but y'all know that's a lie.
Yeah, we do.
All right, so I figured we'd start with the New Hampshire Office of Highway Safety Grant. This is for the FY 2023 budget, which actually started 2 days ago, although we don't have any
Started 2
enforcement.
days ago with the state.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't have any.
Not ours yet.
Anything scheduled on it. It's just, most of it will happen next year. So we'd like to apply for a grant, speed enforcement, $1,742.85. DWI enforcement, $2,196.91. Distracted driving enforcement, $1,722.81. And then mobilization means we can use that funding to try to enforce whatever we deem our citizen concerns, which obviously would be DUI and speeding. Those are our two biggest, and that'd be $3,400. So the total grant would be $9,062.58. We do have a contributory portion, which is made up entirely through the use of our vehicles. It doesn't even take funding, so we meet that just based on the minimum hours that that grant would pay for. I do have Officer Valero, who coordinates all this, who can answer any questions if you have any of him. He also has a little overview if you'd like to provide that.
Chief, could you just,
Yes, sir.
can you just reread me the breakdown? I got to 1,075, I got 2,000, and then you just
Gotcha.
fast laned it right past me.
Speed enforcement, $1,742.86.
Okay.
DWI enforcement,
Yep.
$2,196.91.
Okay,
Distracted driving enforcement, $1,722.81.
okay,
And then what they call mobilizations, $3,400. So the total grant amount is $9,062.58.
Got it.
If I can, Chief, in your email, you broke it down also by hours.
Yep.
Something important, the 9,000,
What do you
the total is around $129.
Correct, and what I did is I used the maximum amount,
did you get that
the highest
email,
paid
Kevin?
officer working that, and it would pay for 129 hours if the highest paid officer worked the entire thing. Obviously, if our lowest paid officer worked it, we'd be many more hours.
Right.
When did you send the email, Chief?
That was September 29th.
September 29th, 2022.
Okay.
What,
Kevin, the subject name is fiscal year 23 NHOHS grant application.
And I can give you my copy if you want it.
That's, yeah.
what are our cars worth to them?
$20 an hour.
Okay.
Our contribution, the total amount based on the grant amount is $2,265.65. And when I did rough math on that $129, we were like a little bit over $2,500 just from using the car.
You also state in your email, participation in these grants establishes eligibility for us to apply for equipment grants. Can you
Correct.
explain
So
that?
there's two that they have. They have a radar grant and they have a MDT grant. MDT, I believe the grant amount is $2,500, not counting the printer equipment, which is a separate grant.
For the general public, MDT means,
Our computers in our cars.
thank you.
And then the radar, I believe it's 80% off the top of my head. Which is a really good grant because we're getting ready to, the state's getting ready to start incorporating laser rather than the radar, which is a good
Roughly,
program.
what's a laser cost?
I haven't even looked at it,
Any idea?
They're up there.
but it would be 80% paid for.
Well, that's why I was asking, see how much money it'd be
Couldn't
actually.
get them until an officer was trained to use the LiDAR though.
Right.
So it would be training to go to the
Okay.
academy to do that.
I mean, what are we paying for our radar units right now, roughly? Do you know?
3,500 roughly.
Okay, so probably 5,000 roughly
Off the top
for
of my
the
head. I would think they're in the same
ballpark.
ballpark,
Okay.
right?
But they cover 80% of it.
It's less equipment. The laser is self-contained, where you don't have the little
Little
receptors on
bulb
the front
thing.
and back,
Yeah.
right? So, he was explaining to me, it's pretty much just a mount you put up in front of your dashboard, so when you're driving, it's purely front mounted, front radar or laser.
More like a hand mount. hand-
Correct, exactly.
Okay,
And then, of course, you can get out in the car and hit both ways.
sneaky. Okay,
In full public view, of course.
of course. Yeah. Does the board have any other questions for the chief?
I didn't get the email. It's not in spam. For some reason, Chief, I don't get your emails.
Yeah, I don't know. I got it showing you on my to list.
Yep.
As,
Do you use board members or do you use individuals?
I think I set up my own distribution group.
It was sent to an individual,
Right.
Cahill.
Weare.nh.gov.
Yeah. No,
No, it should, it should happen, but board members at Weare is where you all get it.
right.
Right, I just have individual emails and I set up a
If you said board
distribution group.
members at Weare.nh.gov, it gets them all.
Everybody will
Well,
get it that way.
Instead of individually
yeah.
Instead of
Chief,
individually putting in their names, we have a group set up for board members
Right.
at where.nh.gov, and it gets all 5 of them at once.
Okay.
Yeah,
And he does get those.
for some reason,
Yeah, I'll change it so I'd do it the other way since there's obviously something going wrong.
I just
Yeah.
checked the spam, it's so fresh, it's not there, so.
So with your permission, I'd like permission to sign this grant application.
Any other questions for the chief?
The only,
Kevin, your Gmail account, is that where, I can forward it to you right now if you'd like.
And
yeah, I just need to go
if
review
you'd
it
like
right now.
time to review it, we're under no time rush for
Okay.
this.
All right, why don't we give them the
and,
weekend?
and
problem.
can I just let Naomi know, or do you want me to email you
Well, I
guys?
think,
back?
I think,
I can put it on the next one.
yeah, just put it on the next one. I think that'd be best, yeah.
No problem.
We'll get it to you. You can
I
see
just
where
forwarded it to your Gmail account,
Okay,
Kevin.
thanks.
All right. Next item I have is 24/7 coverage.
Well, it's not on the list.
I had it on the list.
It's not on our list.
Well, it's a follow-up. You asked me to bring it to the CIP committee.
Yes.
They punted. They said they did not want to provide an opinion. They didn't feel that was, well, actually.
Well, it's really a
Chairperson-
budget item.
Yeah,
It's
it's a
really
budget.
nothing to do with capital.
So we're still back at where we were. We can do a mail card survey.
I don't think you have to do that after the other day.
Yeah, I don't think it seemed,
I think it was pretty clear cut on that one post that.
okay.
For those who don't know what I'm referring to, there was a Facebook post made, all factual, informative, and really not the topic of discussion, but it turned into the topic of discussion, was 24/7 coverage. And that the police department on their Facebook page made a post, that there was one single line that said that the police department is not staffed from 3 to 7 a.m., is covered by state police, and that took off like wildfire. They really didn't, it didn't seem like there was much activity to the post, it was more so that particular statement, so, I don't think you need to send the card, I think that's a pretty good pulse right there.
Okay, so we'll get a warrant article together.
I think it all comes together, I mean, it seemed like there was a lot of questions, a lot of support, a lot of stir, that's for sure.
There is a lot of inaccurate information out there about what actually goes on between 3 and 7. So I'm gonna
Yes.
put out a lot of information, what calls come in, a breakdown of those calls, what actually happens when you call,
Yeah.
as well as whether other towns cover,
Yeah,
which they do not.
And I think you saw that venue, that platform is pretty solid for that,
Yep,
So.
so,
okay.
How many viewers?
I think there was over 125 comments on that, wasn't there?
there were a bunch of comments, usually a typical, so we have 8,000 or 9,000 people who follow us on Facebook. That was one of our more popular topics as far as responses and likes and comments
8 or 9,000 people follow.
from all over, not necessarily from where.
They can be everywhere, yeah.
Yeah,
Of course, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
but- So, gets pretty good exposure though, regardless.
yes, it did.
I don't think there'd be any harm in formulating a warrant article unless the board thinks otherwise.
Would I need to, go back to the CIP committee with that one?
It's not a capital item.
I don't believe so,
Okay, very good.
no.
And then you
But,
guys are gonna have to decide, when you look at the total of the budget, what you're gonna weed out, what you're not.
that's correct,
Right.
right. But I would think I think it should be a separate warrant article,
It would have to be.
right. I don't think it should just be added to I think it should be a separate warrant article, so that the people can actually vote on it.
Yep.
And whatever you think, full package,
Yes, got it.
not just people,
Yes,
so, thank you.
full package. Understood.
Does anybody else have any comments or suggestions on that particular topic? Okay. All right, now that you're off track.
No, not at all. Firearms Range. So this is probably another one that you didn't get, update, so I'll just go over this real quick. Sergeant Frisbee looked at an alternate location instead of DPW, since obviously citizens would be using that even though the range would be closed. And the East Road pit actually fits our needs very well. I'll pass around a little map just to show you if you're not familiar with what it looks like, but you can see a lot of woods around this location. So we did a measuring distance, about the same distance to the nearest house. DPW and East Road, the closest house is about 2,800 feet away. State law only requires 300 feet, so we're way beyond that. For East Road pit, there's a much greater downrange area, meaning the direction we're there's a lot shooting, there's a much greater downrange. The berm is already 25, 30 feet probably. Now Benji says it'll move based on what they're doing, but obviously we adjust to whatever conditions we find. That's not a problem. Distance way, it works. A concern was, seasonal influences, they don't really impact us because,
Twice a year.
yeah, twice a year, plus we got to shoot in whatever conditions we face. If it's raining, it's raining. We don't get to call timeout if we get in a shooting situation because there's a little drizzle on us. Of course, we coordinate with Benji for when he's not using the pit, so we could use the pit. And it'd be a much lower cost to actually get this up and running because I don't need as much signage or flags or anything like that. For us, this was a really good option to get us out of the public site to go back and do what we need to do a couple days a year.
So we're talking like 2 days a year for you to use either
Gravel
location.
At a minimum 2, I don't see many, so we would do, as we have gained personnel, now we're building, so we might do a day of shield work with firearms, stuff like that, but it would never be more than probably 5 days a year where we're out there.
And
Actually-
you could coordinate with DPW?
Yes.
On all
Ben,
of those?
Benji would always have preference, and we'd ask him, when aren't you gonna be using the pit? Because we can obviously work around his schedule. It's not a problem with us.
So is that area out there, being that this is a work in progress pit, gonna continuously change over the next 4 or 5 years?
It could. The biggest concern ours is making sure the berm's high enough, so we're shooting into it. You know, as long as it's 10 feet high, but Benji's digging into a pretty good hill, so I don't think he's gonna impact it that much. He does have an area where there's, you know, rocks, and he was concerned about ricochets. We shoot with steel plate targets where ricochets are already consideration, so, I mean, vests are mandatory for us when we shoot, as well as eyeglasses, protective eye gear, hearing protection, so.
And is this all pistol, or is this rifle and
No, it'd be
shotgun?
rifle also.
And shotgun? So it's pretty much.
So our shotgun is just the beanbag rounds. We don't
Okay.
shoot buckshot or anything through there. It's non-lethal shotguns is all we carry.
Around what time of year you guys qualify?
Usually spring is our pistol qualification, daytime qualification. That's our state cert, and then we have to do 1 day of nighttime minimum shooting, which takes about 4 hours. That would be November-ish, after daylight savings time.
Okay.
Oh, right during deer season.
Okay.
Wear hunter orange.
I'm just looking at Benji's email about, you know, that they don't plow it in the winter, et cetera, so.
Yeah, we'd be out before the snow hit.
Okay. All right. And obviously, you know, we did get a response, from the DPW director. And John's concerns were raised as far as the ricochet, well, Benji's concerns, but, he mentioned that. But like I said, just, he doesn't really have a problem with it, he just thinks everything keeps moving, so. I guess my thought is if he can work it out with the DPW and the operation in there, I think it's all right.
Use it as long as it's usable. And when it becomes no longer usable, revisit it.
Back up 10 and punt at that point. So, what does the rest of the board think?
I'm okay with it.
Saves you guys money on setup.
Yeah.
Don't have to deal with,
Another new one to me, but
don't have to worry about notifying, putting up
seem like
flags
it-
or anything like that.
Yeah.
the offer in Deering always, if you ever need a place to go shoot, Tom Cavanaugh told you, come on up, shoot all you want.
Appreciate it. Just because we have to, obviously with staffing, we try to shoot on Wednesdays when everybody's here.
Sure.
And we don't want to take our resources out of town in case we have to
Sure.
respond to
No,
something.
this makes more sense. I
Yep.
just,
I guess my only comment, thought would be, I know it's gonna be a little hard to pick up after yourself in the bank, but if there's any shell casing or something like that, maybe try and rake them up.
They actually asked us to leave them.
Oh,
Yes,
Why is that?
the reload.
Oh, someone else wants, oh.
okay.
And we offered, well, obviously it's on us to pick them up. If they want them picked up, we're going to pick them up. But they asked us to leave them, so
Who did?
we'll leave them. Joe.
Oh, yeah, I think I'm gonna have you pick them up.
Okay, that's fine. And we can pick them up.
Same.
Yeah.
Not a problem.
Your targets and everything like that will be stored where? Because right now.
Back at our station, we wouldn't put anything
So nothing will
permanent
be
there.
stored on site there? Okay.
Nope.
Okay. All right, I have no problem with this.
no, pick them up, chief, because that's just gonna add to a problem, people going out there.
Done deal.
That's not what we need.
We will pick them up.
So, all right, cool. All right, again,
Last
and
bit-
just communicate with Benji what just happened here,
Will do.
if you could.
Just to follow up on the radio infrastructure, you had asked about the cards.
Yes.
He's got them.
Okay.
So he had to pretty much tell him he was going to cancel because they weren't fulfilling. They were having some supply chain issues. That got him in gear. He got them. He expects everything to be installed within, and tune up within the next couple of days.
Great.
Awesome.
And that's all I had.
Okay.
Thanks, chief.
Yes, sir.
Thank Don't leave yet.
They should be all the same. Copy 101. I mean, they came
Is
from the
there the
same
original,
person.
maybe?
I have the original.
All right, is that what that is?
So I'm guessing Chris can have this one.
Well, he
I wouldn't
can,
know what I'm reading anyway.
he can look at it.
Well, they're all the same. No one's opened any of them, so. What is it?
For the two radio systems. We opening them?
believe that's what we're supposed to be doing.
Killed a lot of trees to get this package. So we killed a lot of trees to get this package.
We're keeping the loggers in business.
Supply chain. Can we just, in public, go over the process that was taken to get to this point? As far as where things were, how things were posted, the board, et cetera.
So we followed the purchasing policy, again, this is coming from ARPA. And we posted it in public places and submitted to, we did submit to a couple different vendors, correct?
Yeah, the three that were, OMU was one, I can't remember the other. R&R was listed.
Okay.
On
And,
our website, I believe it was put in the paper, because it's a lot of money.
Selectmen, van, police department, Sergeant Montplaisir, myself, put a lot of time into making an RFP. We borrowed one from, what town was that, Lebanon?
Hanover.
Hanover, to come to this conclusion. And we received one bid, and this, again, this is for the, police radio upgrade. And the bid is from Two-Way Communications.
This contingencies, I'm guessing.
Huh?
It's gonna be cause if Plan A doesn't work with your cell towers, you gotta go to Plan B.
That's correct.
So this is on the assumption that the cell towers are gonna come through.
Are viable.
Yeah.
Correct.
A lot of information, just flip to the back, I did. Let's get you the number. Just get you the price.
Before we skip to the price,
Stuff we've seen before.
under subcontractors, if everybody could pay attention to one particular line in here, give me a second, I'll tell you exactly what page it's on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I believe it's gonna be on the 7th page for everybody. The top of it says subcontractors. Does everybody see that page?
Yep.
Halfway down says exceptions. Let me make sure everybody sees that.
Whereabouts are you?
This page.
Why am I having-
5 or 6 pages in.
Did you put yours out of order?
No, I have not. There we are. I'm good. I'm good. We're in.
You got
Under
it.
exceptions, Two-Way takes the exception of the pricing as outlined.
Yep.
Only
I
valid
want to
for
make sure
30
everybody
days.
sees that before we go dive too far into this.
Okay.
Only good for 30 days. Place an order. Oh, okay.
Seven and 12, John, I read, right?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
I read 7 and 12, right? Line 7 and 12?
Section 7, page 12. Unfortunately, I don't know if these pages are numbered. Oh, section 7, page 12 is what our bid was, our RFP. I think that's what he's referring to.
Got it.
And unfortunately, I don't have a copy of that.
I might have a copy of that.
John, on the LMR network drawing,
Which one? There's a couple.
next one, that one.
LMR network drawing connectivity?
Yep.
Okay.
If you look at the Mine Hill Prime site,
Yeah, my glasses aren't that good, but okay.
third one down,
Huh.
that's, yeah. We'll have to clarify that.
No, what's up?
You can point it up to me.
Okay, so he said, section 7, page 12?
There's just a lot of info in this, folks, as far as construction of the cabinets, what's gonna be in the cabinets as far as layout, how
7,
items are gonna communicate,
So I think he's,
cetera.
I think he's
Just a
stating,
correction.
yeah, I think he's saying it's only good for 30 days, or 30 days, I think. Yep.
Give us a little time, I think.
So, in reference to your question, back on that map, if you wanna pull that up.
Yep.
If you follow the lines, I think he has it labeled as Wolf Hill, but I think he means Concord Stage if you follow the
Okay.
lines. I think it's a labeling error.
All right, sounds good.
Just so everybody understands what John brought up, it's a significant, in the RFP, we say 18 months. We give ourselves a 18-month window, and he cut it down to 30 days or 20 days.
That's the civil work, not including the equipment.
So a significant reduction from 18 months to,
Well, it says 30 days from the date of this document, which is 22nd of September.
Yeah.
It's even shorter. We're October 3rd right now.
Right. Well, I think we can probably work with him on that.
this almost take a working session.
What's that?
This is a lot of information here.
Oh, it is, absolutely.
Because your warranty period's 1 year from the date of purchase. So if you purchase it and you don't put it up, you're done, right?
I would think so, yeah. That's from.
That's why
yeah,
we
overall.
wanted 18 months.
Right, yeah, because it gave 8 months to put it up.
Right, because you're talking about equipment.
Because we theoretically could get the,
Because if you buy it and put it on a shelf and a year goes by,
right, exactly.
it's all done.
And there's your equipment cost right there. That's the equipment, and
This is the,
then that's what the civil is, so add those two together will be what his,
yeah,
Well, at the top of the page, at the total, there's one page. In the
Are
section
you gonna,
called
are we
payment
gonna,
terms.
are we planning on trying to vote on this tonight?
No,
I thought we were awarding it tonight was the schedule, the timeline.
you guys can do what you want, but I don't.
Well, I think,
Yeah.
I think
there's
a
a
couple
few more
things have changed in
questions,
here
yeah.
that we need to ask questions about,
Yeah,
that we weren't exactly anticipating.
well, it wasn't bid to spec if it was 18 months and it's 30 days now.
Right.
Yeah, it might take a bit of a working session, just some of the numbers are kind of generic, you know. Site improvement, 16,000, site improvement, 16,000. At one point, you were actually talking about DPW doing the site work,
Yeah.
We talked about it, yeah.
so I mean, is, I guess just, I don't know what site work improvements.
And that, the 30-day
Means-
thing, John, really is a kink in the works. For the warranty,
I'm glad you pointed it out, John, though,
yeah.
because we have been signed into something.
well, the civil work's doing 15.
From the date invoiced, which
Right.
would not be, I'm sure, until some of the work was done, but if you look at the Motorola warranty, it's
One year from when you
from the
purchase it.
purchase date.
Yeah.
And we all know that boots ain't gonna hit the ground and
No,
equipment won't be in place for probably 6 to 8 months.
yeah,
So we're gonna take our warranty down to
half.
Right.
or less.
Just for clarification for anybody watching this or later on, we've only received one bid.
That's correct, yes. We only received one bid. It was from Two-Way Communications, based out of Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Somewhere in the back here. Hold on.
6 something.
668,
Well,
Yeah,
668,
together.
357,
688.
57.
688-356-57 cents.
And these numbers are based on the assumption that we're gonna be able to use cell tower sites. We still do not have confirmation we can.
That's correct. We're still in usage there.
If we're unable to do that,
Investigating.
then we would have to go back to the drawing board and
And change
do
it.
a RFP using new towers,
Constructed towers,
which changes quite a bit.
everything, including cost.
So what, should we try to get him in to discuss a few things?
I think so, I think that'd probably be best is
Yeah,
get Bill
work,
in.
maybe
Yeah.
a working meeting, like just.
Yeah, just a
dedicate
work
the-
session, I think we can.
This
Yep.
is too big a project to,
Right, it's a big project to just, like I said, we get some questions in there, it gives us time to go over it, and we can also come out with some more questions.
Something you think we can, I really don't wanna delay this, but I understand the need for this and I agree with it, but I really don't wanna take this down the road. Is it something we can do next week?
Yeah, that's what I'm
any
thinking.
day you want, John, I'll make it.
Yeah, next week, that's fine.
Is everybody okay with that?
Not next week, I won't be here, but you guys carry on. No, carry on without me, it's fine.
Okay,
If I have any issues, I'll let you know about them.
okay.
That way there we can talk radio.
Would you be able to try to coordinate with Bill to see if we can have a meeting sometime next week?
Thursday's my only off day, but doesn't really,
Well,
I'll make it work.
The
if it
room
has
is
to.
being used Wednesday and Thursday.
Right.
Monday's a holiday,
Monday's a,
Columbus Day.
oh, okay.
Oh, well, that's how it is. That
All
date
all I
ends at
can
Y
say, I
for me.
can try.
Yeah. Where are you going?
So your only option's Tuesday,
Pennsylvania. Pittsburgh.
I'm sorry,
or you can, I mean, you meet the 17th too.
what's our docket looking like that day? Do we have any idea yet?
No. I almost think a separate working
I
session.
think, I think this is a lot of mental, I think it should be separate, honestly.
Okay, no, I agree,
There's a lot of data here.
but it's just my
But
preference is
next week is fine.
sooner the better.
Yeah,
Can we do Tuesday, John?
he'll let you know.
Give me 2 seconds.
Well, Bill Bartlett's gonna be the one that says yes or no.
Yeah, but
Right.
just before, well, we ask, we at least have to all know we can be there. If he says yes.
We're not meeting next Monday, right?
That's correct.
I'm available Monday, Tuesday, or Thursday of next week.
I could be here Monday.
I could
I
be
can't be here
Monday.
Tuesday. Huh?
Not me.
Oh, okay.
You guys can meet without me.
Take notes.
You can. You can set this up too.
You gonna give me a crayon?
Chief, will you be around next week? I'd like you to be involved here also.
Yep.
What time are you thinking Monday?
6:30, normal time?
6:37.
I might be able to.
Because my flight takes off on Tuesday, so I'm out for Tuesday. I mean, I can come in via the phone, but good as that.
Well, let's see what Bill says. We can try for Monday, 6:30.
Okay, if not, whatever day, just the rest of the board can be here, so.
Yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday are the days I'm available, so.
Yeah, but we can't use this room
Planning board's here Thursday, conservation's here Wednesday.
Wednesday and, yeah.
And we could always do it upstairs in the upstairs conference room if we had to.
Well, I'm
But I
for
do-
conservation.
Oh, because of the
Well, I
live
can
stream.
skip
Yeah,
it.
we
I
have to
mean, I
clone
can-
Naomi.
Yeah,
How are we gonna, I have
Do
to
the thing.
do that,
Yeah,
the live stream.
right.
Okay.
let us know.
Monday's
Dave.
your only option.
Monday.
So Monday sounds like a good option for me.
Yeah.
All right, I'll have to get a hold of Bill.
Thank
Please.
you.
Thank you. All right, that brings us to the manifest. Thank you, Chief, appreciate it. Order the treasurer to sign payroll accounts payables checks dated October 6, 2022, is including the following manifest. A payroll manifest of $71,727 for weekly payroll. Accounts payable of $46,056.98. Weare School District 250, John Stark 250, for a total of $617,783.98. As there is no selectmen's meeting scheduled for Monday, October 10th, further, order treasurer sign payroll checks dated October 13th, 2022, estimated to be about $80,000. And further, order the treasurer to sign up to the amount of $90,000 for accounts that cannot wait until next scheduled meeting. Reports and actual check amounts will be reported to the Board of Selectmen by inclusion of manifest memo at the next scheduled meeting. Is there a second?
Second,
Moved and seconded, all in favor?
Yes.
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 That brings us to the minutes.
Which you don't have.
We don't.
I haven't sent them to you.
Okay.
Who's second? Sherry.
Administrator's report?
Yeah, I'm gonna send down, I'd like to just bounce back to the Romeo discussion.
Huh?
What I'm sending down is you had all had a concern with regards to the emergency part of it. And he took out of the code book that he's using, and it says, work commencing before permit is issued, any person, Plumbing,
Yeah,
yeah. So this is like an emergency thing? So if you have to do something, it's really not considered. Because you talked about the electrical, gas, mechanical, plumbing.
yeah, so I had a
So
conversation.
we can be a zero on top of it, but it looks like there should be, it says in addition to required fees. But we can establish that as zero.
Exactly, yeah, I had to talk to him at the library today, about
Okay.
him setting up that, and I asked him that question, our concern was that the homeowner's gotta fix something on the weekend, and then come in and pay double, that's not gonna happen. So, no, that is set at zero. It's just that whoever the mechanical contractor was, does the work, has to come in and pull a permit the following day, couple days, whatever. But it has to, we do have to have it on record that the work was performed.
But I'm not in support of penalizing them.
No penalty.
Correct.
Yeah.
No penalty for emergency work, zero.
Okay. Then I'm on board with it.
Yeah, he agreed with that too. He said things crop up, it's the intentionals that are flipping
The
it or
snubs,
whatever,
yeah, okay,
Yeah,
that are just not gonna get
it's
a
a
permit.
loophole. He wants to get rid of a loophole, essentially.
I get that.
So this is the,
Affidavit for the permit.
no, this is for the building improvements, maintenance, repairs procedure.
This one, Ricky? This one?
No,
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of, thank you.
I have a copy.
Yeah, but again,
I just think
the
we-
way that that's written, I'm not okay with it for the fact of the last section, which we would have to omit, that's all.
Yeah, and
so
or
let's amend it.
make it conditional of. Something, right. So whoever,
We can say what we wanted amended to and just make it conditional upon that change.
exactly. If someone wants to read it in.
I'll entertain a
At the
motion.
last paragraph, you're saying?
Yeah, the last box in its entirety.
What do you want it to read?
Well, that is the penalty box, for a better term.
Or how about we do this? How about we have him add a line that says, emergency repairs done in off-business hours will need, and just a clarification.
I'm not in support of the penalty at all,
But even if it's a flipper?
at all.
Okay,
That's just my opinion.
okay.
So, because I think that could get misconstrued. That's all I'll say.
Okay, so they just have to come in and pull a permit for the same fee?
Correct. To me, to me, what doubling it is gonna discourage them from filling the affidavit out.
Is there any
It's gonna
additional
it's gonna
work,
discourage me even more.
is there any additional work needed for an after-the-fact permit?
Well, if they're looking for an inspection.
But you need
But
an
that
inspection before too.
That inspection would, is there anything additional beyond the normal? If I was to file for a permit now, the same amount of work still has to happen whether I file for it now or 2 months later, correct? Or is there something justifying that additional cost other than being a penalty? Is there additional labor? Is there more man hours required?
I think if I understand what his motive is here, it's for the person that doesn't pull the permit until they're caught.
So as a penalty?
And that's why the penalty is there. So it makes it advantageous to get your permit before you get caught. So if it's a guy that's quickly flipping the house, which is why this was generated, and it's a neighbor complained, it's from memory now, a neighbor complained, so Romeo did a stop by, and they were moving a bathroom or whatever they were doing, right? But enough that it needed a permit. Without that swing by, that permit would have never been pulled. So the guy came in, there was a situation, and the individual, whatever. But I think that's what generated this. Is that correct? My memory?
Yeah, but there's also recently, we've had, landlord issue. They finished above the garage, renting it out. You know, never had a permit, there's no second means of egress.
Right.
You know, there's a lot of things that go on. You're not gonna catch them all, nor are we here to
No,
do that.
no, but my thought is.
It's just the blatant ones that,
As if somebody, if Romeo goes by and says, oh, by the way, you really need to pull a permit for that, and the guy goes, listen, I didn't know, I'm sorry. You
happens
know,
all the time, they come down here in the morning.
happens all the time, there you go. So right there,
Right.
to me, it's like, are you gonna penalize that guy that didn't know any better to come in?
Yeah.
And this encompasses everybody. It's not just Joe homeowner that did the emergency repair, that encompasses everybody.
Right.
And say, you know, and it says, oh yeah, I didn't know, and I did this, and I did that, and now you're gonna fine him for coming in?
Yeah, no,
So
believe
that-
me, I'm not arguing it either way, Rick, here
That's
at this
my
point. I'm
aspect
just
of
trying
it,
to.
is
I'm
I would
just-
rather
wrap
have
my
the
head-
permit on file after the fact, and say, hey, I'm sorry, I didn't pull it. Yes, I'll pay my application fee, here it is, and have it on file, rather than monetarily discourage them when they come in and say, well, you didn't do it, I don't care what happened. Yeah, you know, and clarify what an emergency is, because my emergency is different than your emergency.
So let me pose this as a possible solution. Leave it in there at code or at building inspector's discretion.
No, I don't like that, because that could be favoritism.
How about, because it says late application fee will be assessed. How about may be assessed?
Who is the
Doesn't
agent
matter.
to distinguish it?
Romeo.
Yeah,
That's-
It's
that
just
goes
too,
back-
it's too gray.
It's too gray.
I agree. I
It's,
agree.
it's either all or none, to me anyways, because that takes the black and white.
Then I'd take it out.
I would take it, just because of the fact of, again, you're trying to, with an affidavit for this, you're trying to encourage people to do it, to do it beforehand, yes.
Yeah,
But
I-
now you're trying to encourage them to come back and, with their tail between their legs, and say, I screwed up, but can we make this happen still? And now you're gonna kick them in the pants again with an extra $50 or $100. That's my own opinion. So, the board can do what they want, but I'm not in favor of the way
What
that that's
about-
written.
What about a two strikes, you're out? First, multiple occurrences, then you're subject to it. This would stop the repeat offender.
Yeah,
First
what
time,
if- What if they only did one? You know,
they won't do it again.
Well, the other thing, there's state law that if you're licensed and you have to pull permit.
right,
So if you're.
But what
I mean,
about-
it could be
Talking about
we could
homeowner.
report, I mean, it could be dealt with that way, that Romeo would just report them to the state.
right,
But Joe homeowner
but,
adding an extra build, or doing their own work. 'Cause
Right,
There's a
I
lot
know.
of handy people out there, they add their own.
like I say, I know what end of a hammer to hold on to, so I could do my own work.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna hire a contractor for any of it, per se.
Yeah, no,
Right?
yeah.
So, you're gonna penalize me, or somebody else that's savvy.
Yeah, no, that's fine, I mean,
I
I'm
don't
just saying,
don't disagree with what you're
if you got the cowboy that's out there doing the midnight projects and not
Yes.
pulling permits,
Right, yeah, burn,
then there's a way of curtailing his behavior through the state laws. The homeowner aspect, the guy that's just handy, I mean, we can do our own electrical at home anyway without a permit. We just can't do plumbing. You
I know.
can. That's law, that's
I
state
know,
law.
no, I get it, but still,
Yeah,
yeah.
but,
I'd rather have the language in there under the building inspector's discretion. Put it in there and put it on the building inspector to make that decision, whether they're going to let the applicant plead their case,
If that's the case, there needs to be a Board of Appeal, I think.
then that would be us.
They can go to ZBA. That's where they go with him now.
Okay.
If they don't like his decision, they can go to the ZBA.
Then
That's the
that
Board of
needs to be
Appeals.
in there. If the board's consensus is to keep the fine and penalty in there, there needs to be a Board of Appeals, I feel.
I'm okay with that idea.
yeah, I think it's one of those one in 100 things anyway, but,
But to me, it's,
yeah, I think if the homeowner walks in on a Monday morning to fill it out, Romeo's gonna say, thanks so much. See you later. Yeah.
Well, and that's what I would hope, right? Because again, at least the homeowner's coming in honestly and saying, I done screwed up, or I didn't know this, or I thought I could do that, and I can't.
Exactly.
You know, I know ignorance is bliss, but,
Yeah, and
I
just
just
a
don't wanna
note,
penalize them.
so would you, well, again, in an effort to be sort of on the same page, with that condition, Rick, you would just be behind this?
No, I'm still not behind any penalty at all.
Okay.
Zero. I don't care how you term it, I don't care how it's written, I'm not behind it.
Okay.
But again, I'm only one vote, but I'm not
Oh, I
behind it.
agree, I'm just asking a question. So,
But if you got a contractor that keeps doing stuff and Romeo picks up on it, then,
Like Kevin said, there's laws
Yeah.
to prevent that with their licensing and everything like that.
If they're licensed.
If they're licensed,
yeah,
right?
if they're licensed,
But if they're not licensed, I think that's a different road that we have to go down.
Yeah.
Legally.
yeah.
So it does make sense to have some sort of a, I guess, motivator, and so the fear of the doubling the permit fee is the motivator, not to behave that way. But I'm on the fence, to be quite frank with you. I just,
So you know what, we'll kick it down one more time, cause he can explain to you why he was thinking that way. He's talked with another town, it came from another town. You know what I mean?
yeah, and I kind of would like to know how often this is actually happening.
I just, again, I think you're penalizing the homeowner again.
What's,
A savvy homeowner anyway.
Again, that's why I say under the building inspector's discretion.
is he terribly anxious for this, Naomi?
Yeah,
He is?
life happens.
Well,
Yeah, poll a vote, it's
Yeah.
fine.
well, I just think, I think we're all kind of split right down the middle.
Mm-hmm.
I understand where John's coming from, and I understand where Ricky's coming from, I guess.
Well, without the explanation of where it came from.
We'll just have to wait.
Yeah, and with that, well, let me ask you this question, because you seem to be the best versed on this, Naomi. So if we eliminated the late application fee, is that the essence behind this? Is that what's driving this?
No, I think it's just, personally, I think it's just make sure that something's filled out on file.
Yeah, but that's,
That's the way I interpret it,
yeah, I would like to know that,
is that we just rather have something on file than nothing on file.
right.
Because I didn't know that we ever had an affidavit form at all.
No, we just created it.
We just created it. So this is, to me, is a way to,
Came from another town.
but I think it's a valid way to say, hey, you know, we just need to have the accountability of work on file. And I'm not disagreeing with the fact that we should have this. I just don't-
Okay,
I just
so
don't-
I'm gonna make a motion that we accept the affidavit for work performed without inspections, conditional upon, well, first with the removal of late application fee 2 times the permit fee, with the understanding that it is not, what's the right word I wanna use here, not mandatory to the code enforcement officer's request for us to enact the stated affidavit. Do I have a second?
I'm not
In
sure.
other words,
I don't
I'm
understand.
I'm eliminating this.
Yeah, but I don't understand, once you went past that, you lost me.
Well, what we're gonna do is we're gonna approve it minus this with the assumption that he's okay with that. And if he isn't, he's gonna come back. Otherwise,
So
so
you're
the
mo-
assumption that this isn't, if this is a generic form that was taken from another town, and no one is stating that his proposal is conditional upon this, I'll approve it without this, and if he wants to come back and say, no, the whole thing, this is my golden goose.
Okay, all right, so what you're doing is you're moving to accept the affidavit permit minus the penalty
Yes.
conditionally to the building inspector's approval.
Correct, so that we don't have to do this again.
As amended.
As amended. If it's fine with him, then we're done with the issue. If it isn't, he comes back and sees us.
I'll second it. Move and second, any other discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
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 Aye?
Opposed?
No.
Okay. Just with the understanding that he still has the option to bring it back to us.
He
Right,
can.
he can.
But
Or
otherwise-
he can,
He may not get any further.
Well, it doesn't matter, but if it's not pertinent,
But
to him,
it's
then
now
at
it's-
least
it's-
it's in
it's in
play.
motion. It's in
We don't
play.
kick it down the road for another 2 weeks.
Okay. On your report?
I guess that's fine. For some reason I have a different one. That's why I couldn't understand what the heck you're talking about.
Yeah, sorry for that jumbled.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
I was just trying to
I just
think
wanted to clarify, I'm like, what
Yeah,
are you
no,
talking
no,
about over there? Yeah.
I was thinking as I was talking,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Can't do that.
Yeah, I know, sometimes it's tough. I need
Yeah,
Walking
'cause
two
all
on
I
the
had
same
was,
time.
all I had was a one sheet, I didn't have any fees.
Oh, no, the fee schedule is attached.
Oh, did I give you mine, Naomi?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you need it back?
no,
Okay.
I hope not.
Well, that makes sense, I couldn't understand your motion, 'cause I'm like, I had no fee schedule, I'm like, oh, God. Let's see. Rental ordinance, I got some dates there for you.
Okay.
Laura is free on the 18th, the 24th, or the 25th. And I think that's a separate night, not a meeting night. We agreed that we would try to have the second one with her present and leave it just at that.
What nights are those? 18th, 24th, and 20th?
18 would be a Tuesday.
That's a Tuesday from 2 weeks from tomorrow.
Okay.
And the
I'm
24th and the 25th are 3 weeks.
24th and 25th are a Monday and a Tuesday.
All right.
I think I'd prefer the 24th, just keep it on Mondays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
The what?
Monday,
24th,
the
please.
24th?
24th for a Monday,
6:30?
6:30.
7 it is.
Huh?
7 it is.
6:30.
6:30, is that the consensus?
Yes.
I guess.
That's the majority consensus.
Okay.
I'll be late, fashionably.
The food trailer you'd asked me about for WAC, that's being moved to Mr. Provencher's home. It is registered and it's going to be moved off-site to his
I
house.
think it's already gone, because I looked in it tonight, it's
Okay.
gone.
Well, I'm just following up on an email.
Thank you.
Does that mean it's not going to end up at Bolton Field now?
I think that's my understanding. There was an email exchange, Denise included me in.
Okay.
And he had apologized and was taking it, to his home for now. It's registered.
Okay.
I don't know what changed, but that's the latest correspondence I have via email. I'm going to be here Wednesday, and then I won't be back, I guess now till Monday night.
Yeah.
The bathroom renovations, I think you all got an email,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought I explained it where I thought we were.
Yeah.
The solar, I've spoken to one of the 3 people. A second person on that is not eligible, so I've got 2. I just need to find, I don't want a bunch of people. I don't want 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
But the one girl's working, she's got somebody else in mind, just to see where we go with that. I honestly didn't have much more than that, my apologies.
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, I do have one more thing I gotta bring up. It's not on the list, but you guys have been part of the email. So, I think the clerk sent you guys an email about 10-hour days. That was on Thursday, September 29th at 10:10. I sent her the state law regarding lunches and how we came about the 10-hour days. She asked me to bring it up tonight. I've since had a conversation, which I explained that she's looking at making a change to the 10 hours. The change is different than what we talked about. We talked about 7 to 5 originally, 7 to 5, and then 8 to 6, 75 on Monday, Tuesday, Friday. Thursday she'd be closed. Wednesday she thought of 8 to 6. Worked out perfectly. Today, we'll fast forward to today, she wanted to change her hours, put it on the website, effective the 17th. And it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. Now it's 8 to 5:30 to the public, with a half an hour to balance, giving them 8 to 6. She asked me if I could put it on the front page, and also that she's gonna be closed Columbus Day, which that's a week from now. We're open the holiday, we kinda swapped that around. The dilemma I feel this brings is, that means I have to pay somebody to stay an hour during vacation, when there's one person in that office. There has to be two people in this building. So during vacation times, I have to ask one of my staff to stay an hour Monday, an hour Tuesday, an hour Wednesday, or an hour Friday, because it doesn't align.
Yeah, I think it needs to, I think it
be
highly
align.
recommended align with,
Yes.
with our hours. I am still not a proponent of it because I can't physically get here in time and still work my hours. So that means I gotta take time away from work to get here, so
There's no more evening hours available now.
I'm not a fan of any of
But
it.
So the, it was gonna be Wednesday until 6, but now there is no evening. It's only till 5:30.
Right.
Isn't there one night till 8?
No, they were till 7, they were
7.
on Wednesdays.
Yeah, but that's going away with her proposal.
With the
Till
proposal that
sevens.
goes away. So again, me, the individual, cannot physically make it here in time and work my shift without taking time away from work.
And
which
a
I
lot
don't
of people don't
support
work
that.
in town anymore, so it's not
Right.
like,
I work 45 minutes out of town.
Yeah, no,
So
no, I
I just,
understand.
I'm
I'm not, I have no position on this at this point, except.
Well, and
I
the
like the first-
explanation too is, it was 40 to the public, now it's 38. Because you're gonna close to the public a half an hour early to balance.
Right.
So instead of having a full 40 hours that they were available, it's now 38.
Right.
I don't think I don't think I mind that so much as the fact that
They need to be
th-
open
th-
one
we
night
have, traditionally, we've had one night open available.
For how
late.
many years?
for registration.
Yeah,
You know, I think there needs to be one night that stays, whether it's a 9 to 7, they come in a little late still, whatever.
I'm not opposed to closing the doors a half hour early to the general public so they can do their stuff and then go home. That doesn't really bother me so much.
No.
But the not having
A late night.
a
Late night for
late night.
people at
for-
work, yeah.
Yeah, because, I mean, yeah, they still, you can do a lot of things online, but there's a lot of people that can't or won't.
I can't.
Yeah.
With what I've got, I can't
Yeah.
go online.
The fee would be costly.
Huh?
The fee would be costly.
Not only that, but I physically can't. I can't renew my entire fleet, I need the voucher cards. So, I need to come see her to get my get out of jail free cards from the
But-
state.
You know, you talk about bandwidth earlier. We're strained here.
Right, so,
You know,
I want something
You
that's
know,
gonna
we're
work.
open from 7 to 5 Monday through Friday, and to allow us to do that, we each took one separate day.
Correct,
So there's more of us in the building.
right,
This is going to, somebody's gonna stay for an hour every day.
which isn't, it's in the budget. Let's
It's
be
not in the
real.
budget.
It's not in the
Or I
real.
put it in the budget and budget it. It's not
It's not in the
correct.
budget, so.
And it's not, everybody is entitled to vacation, it's just, the more we were together, the better it is, because there's people in the building.
Right,
You know, that's what happened, you know, a good share of the time, when vacations occurred. They closed at 4, but they were left at 4:30, but we were still here till 5.
right. And
So the door closed, she could balance, she could go to the bank or wherever. And the 7 o'clock, if I had to have somebody stay, one person stayed. It's not, I can't ask one person to alter the schedule after they got used to, and the one person that's certified has an obligation now to pick up grandchildren after work.
Yeah.
So now I gotta ask her to change, because she's the only one that's certified.
Again, I think it only helps everyone to go with the schedule that's established for the building.
So can I ask a question, again, out of ignorance, so the law is that we have to have 2 people in the building,
Just for safety.
right? So we don't have a meeting, no, there's no way that we could schedule it around something that's happening so the building's occupied.
The meetings don't start till later.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
start after.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's just, you know what I mean, I wanna work together, it's just, I just don't know, it's not conducive.
No, it's not. It's
Not
gotta-
by altering the whole building.
No, it's gotta be conducive to the building. I feel as a high recommendation, has to be conducive with the building. And preferably one late night.
Yeah, I was just gonna say one late night.
What would happen with,
And
Ricky, would it work for you to do, like, you couldn't do AM?
no,
No, he works before we're open.
I leave town at 6 o'clock and I don't get back
Yeah.
till 6 o'clock.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing, when you hear it opening at 7, there are some people that will accommodate.
That will accommodate, yeah, oh,
Yeah,
absolutely,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But it
The
won't-
building permit, the Irving, all these people that are getting permits for Irving, Shidelli and all that, they have their own service truck, so they stop here at 7 o'clock, they pull the permit and they're on their way to somebody's
Right.
house.
Oh, I'm sure it works great, 7 o'clock start, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and people paying taxes, they've come in early to come in at 7,
Mhm.
and then on their way through. It's not conducive to everybody, I get it.
No.
I just think we gotta work somehow
I mean,
to something that's
Yeah,
gonna.
we can't have it be disruptive.
I mean, if it was gonna be 4 days and 1 day off during the week, it is what it is.
Right, I'm not begrudging the 4/10s, it's just the disruption, like, every one of those 4 days, somebody's not here.
100%.
You know what I mean? We all elected to take 1 day a week.
Mhm.
And so to ask everybody to juggle, because someone's not here on Monday, so you're here, so you can stay. You're not here on Wednesday, you're gonna stay, because I'm not, that's a juggling act.
Yeah, and I don't think that's not
I agree,
appropriate.
no.
I agree.
If it aligns with the 10-hour day that we already have established in the town hall, then I don't have a problem with it.
As long as you have one late night.
I'd appreciate one late night.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's not conducive, it's not conducive, but I would greatly appreciate it, and I'm
Well,
sure others would.
that's just a customer service thing at that point.
Yeah, it is.
For the people at work, who
Yeah.
not all gonna be in town at 6 o'clock.
And if everybody's so used to, was it Wednesday nights, I think, is the
Wednesday
late
nights,
night?
Wednesday.
until 7.
For the past 20, however many years, we've always had late nights on
One
Wednesdays.
late night, yeah.
I think
But
we're,
when we first moved to town, you had Saturday mornings.
Yeah, half day, yeah, Saturday morning.
We were
yeah.
here Saturday from 8 to
No.
12, yeah.
Yeah.
we have,
Yeah, that was when I did it.
Yep, me too.
we've set up, I don't wanna say we set a precedence, but we've set the expectation with in this case, speaking from a business standpoint, with our customers, that we are open to accommodate them, which is what we're here to do.
Right.
Which is why we went to 7 to 5 Monday through Friday.
Yep.
So there's a steady schedule and then divide up who takes Monday, who takes Tuesday, so one person is off.
Yep.
It does mess it up if someone's on vacation, but we just,
Well,
there's
that's not
still
an-
others
that's not an every week
but there's
occurrence.
still others in the building.
Yep.
You know, there's at least 2 at all times.
I guess she sets her business hours, correct?
Correct.
But we can
Oh, we
highly
can-
suggest, please,
We can ask.
request.
Well, that's what, I guess she wanted your input.
Yeah.
The one thing about going to 7, she explained that the state doesn't open until 8. Okay, well, they're not open till 7 on the night we stayed.
Right.
They're only open till, I think, 6 or
6, yeah.
5:30. Yeah.
It's a compromise.
It is.
She has to make a compromise.
Yep.
I mean,
If possible,
we're trying to
please.
make it work.
Yeah, I guess I'm trying, I just felt like, I understand,
Oh, yeah.
don't get me wrong, to look at, I gotta have an hour for everybody and then juggle it on the days of everybody being gone.
Right.
It's just tough and not everybody's certified, only one person's certified to help. So you
Right.
could be a warm body in the building, but there would still be,
Short-handed.
you'd be
in theory,
short-handed.
yeah.
How many people come in, do you think, traffic-wise, how many people you see coming
It
in?
depends on, like today, she was very busy today. But today was the first day of the month and the September ended. So it depends on if you forget in the end of September, October. Usually the first week and the last week are very busy.
Busy, yeah.
What do you have, like a week?
Now, in overall, how busy is the building at 7 o'clock?
Building department,
I mean,
More
as a
than
whole, no,
any.
as a whole, yeah, but,
not overly busy, but I noticed the building department likes the 7s. They're up and at it.
okay.
Yeah.
Tony was swamped today, Katie was sick. So
Okay.
Tony was here, him and Romeo were here.
Okay.
Well, that's when their clientele is, too.
That's been a like,
Oh,
of-
absolutely.
exactly, that's been a like of the construction trade,
Okay.
is to be here, get a permit and go.
And go, yeah,
So, that works.
okay.
Yeah, from a customer service standpoint, ask the town clerk to.
I mean,
at least
yeah, I mean,
one
we'll
back.
have another discussion and see, she wanted your input. So, we can do that, and that's all I had. I do have, one piece of correspondence you guys got later in this afternoon that I can fill you in on Horse Spring Hill.
Oh, yeah,
Road,
yes, okay. All right,
And then the non-public at the end.
yep. Correspondence, other business?
I just talked to somebody from the state last week, and we're not gonna get the ban on the,
Oh, on the.
we're not, yeah,
on the
unless
grant
I
this
can
year?
find more historical information, which I haven't been able to find.
Oh.
I've dug through everything. I thought they'd probably go ahead and forward, because the barn is one of the oldest standing barns in town, but they said they gotta have some other piece of
Historical purpose.
historical information, you know, like, the slaves who were kept in it, you know, when they were coming through this area, or,
Well,
just
So-
don't have it, so,
so what does that mean?
well, so right now, we need to get a repair done down there on the barn roof, because we got another piece of tin up. And then, I guess come spring, put it out to bids and see what we get for some kind of bids, because that roof's a mess. I mean, it's a 200-year-old roof, so. You know, a lot of dry rot in the boards, and
Might be a good use of the lift.
But,
That's a historical society thing.
yes, because the way the article is written, there's no taxpayer impact.
Right.
But my question would be, with the caveat, I'm not disagreeing with that, if the select board or petition comes forward with an article to put 25,000 into it, then it's the will of the taxpayer. Does that change it? I don't know.
If it comes from the historical society and we put it on there, I don't see why not, but I don't think it should be the Board of Selectmen asking.
No.
I think it should be the historical society.
Like
asking.
a historical society petition article?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, no, not a petition article, because petition's not binding, but a regular.
just a
something
regular
request-
article with 25 signatures on it. And
That's a petition article.
that's petition.
No.
25 signatures petition.
Yeah, I'm talking just.
By definition.
Yes,
But, yeah.
I'm talking a regular warrant
Just a
article,
warrant article.
but it's as requested by the historical society, not by the selectmen.
And the money would be taxpayer funded?
Yes,
For that one time, yes.
that one time, yeah. That would be the only, I think, avenue proper
You
to do
probably
it.
have the roof raised, no pun intended, for the people that said it was gonna cost you nothing. That's all, just keep that in mind.
Well, but again, and that,
Who said that, though? There was only one person that said that.
It was, still did it,
that was the way the deed was written, is,
it
or
was, it
or
was,
the article
no, it was
was written.
discussed at town meeting.
Right.
Really?
So that's the caveat. It's just, if the town, I mean, it is a town, I don't wanna say it's a town building, the lease is there to the town. So it's theoretically a town building, but does the town wanna spend money on it? That would be the question. Right? That'd be the only
Yeah.
question.
Yeah, I'm just, forewarning is there
Oh, no,
was
absolutely,
discussion.
yeah.
I don't know what would happen.
And I,
But let the taxpayer decide.
well, the other thing too is there's another avenue there we probably could do, go to the trustees of trust funds, and maybe the historical society puts a certain amount in, and
And that's,
the balance or something.
and that's,
What about historical society doing a fundraiser, like a neighboring town of ours that has done fundraising for some of their big projects?
Yeah, I don't know. We can
Just a
look
thought.
At it, but it would be spring, it wouldn't be now.
Well, it'd be spring if we put it to the warrant article.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
so,
Yeah. I mean, and if,
If you need an emergent repair, it's,
well, as far as a repair right now, we got one piece of metal bent up on it. The wind's caught it and pulled it out, another piece.
I think you're gonna chase that forever.
Oh, yeah, because it's all dry rot.
Yeah,
The
nobody can
boards
get
are
on
all a mess, so
Yeah.
it's gotta be all,
It's probably nailed, not screwed, too.
Yeah,
well,
correct.
it's a combination. And there's old square nails, and there's small finish nails in it, and it's
Whatever nail was available.
whatever was available at the time, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll donate a bag of 3/8 lag bolts. That'll solve the problem.
Well, I don't know, I mean, I can stick my finger right up through the board, so. This is-
All right, any other business correspondence?
Yeah. I mean, I was half serious about, we're gonna have that lift, it's only, somebody could go up and at least screw it down, so it doesn't come
Well,
totally
you
off.
can't drive it down the road.
Oh, put it
No,
on.
you'd have to put it back on a flatbed.
Who's gonna move it?
We do have other business.
Yeah, I know that, but who's gonna move it?
I mean, I could bring my trailer down and move it, is?
Drive right down the road.
You can't, it's too slow.
All right, whatever.
Just
I've
put
got
yellow
one
plate
sitting
on
at
it.
the
We
end
got
of my
enough on
driveway.
my
So-
plate anyway.
So we need to arrange the lift for Monday?
Romeo,
You might not get it
it's
on.
tentative. He wants
So I
me
need
to,
to let them know if they're gonna deliver it.
exactly. All I have
So
to
how am I
do,
gonna
all
know
I
that?
have to look is at the 7-day weather forecast tomorrow morning and call you.
It's 1 day of rain, but
What day's that?
I don't know what Monday's supposed to do.
Monday's supposed to be all right,
Tuesday,
I think.
I don't remember.
Tuesday and Wednesday, I think.
Can I
good,
confirm
and
that with you in the
Thursday,
morning?
Friday.
Yeah, I'm not here tomorrow, but you can.
Right, but you would do it Wednesday anyway, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's on availability too. They may tell
Yeah,
us it's not
they might
available.
They may
Yeah.
not have it available.
Who you
Right.
going with, Naomi?
East Point.
East Point, right
East
there in
Point.
Oh, East
Goffstown?
Point. Yeah, that's who we voted on.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
That's who we
Okay.
voted
Yeah,
on.
I've got a lift coming Wednesday for the day again. 'Cause the hydraulic line
Wednesday
broke
shows
on-
rain.
You have a lift coming for what?
I've got a lift coming Monday, the hydraulic line broke on the one that we had, so they gotta bring another lift on
So
Monday.
Thursday, Friday. Monday looks okay, 58.
On Wednesday,
For
rather,
her place.
Wednesday.
For what place?
For her place.
Oh, your house?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we need it for a couple,
Okay.
2 or 3 hours.
I thought you meant in town. I'm like,
No, it's
I could
just,
use that one then.
it's just rain. Rain on Wednesday, the rest of the days.
Showers, it didn't, unless
Okay.
something's changed.
It looks fine again until the following Friday.
All right.
Okay.
So you guys gonna coordinate that?
Yeah, it's fine. I'll just text him
Okay.
after the meeting.
All right. Correspondence of the business?
Yep,
Well, who's first?
go ahead,
John and John.
Mr. Osborne.
Killian brought up a good, interesting subject there, is who's going around calling people saying they're one of us?
I don't
I don't know
know.
how we can
Curb
they-
do
that.
anything about it, but
They can figure that out, they can look at the caller ID if they
that
go back.
definitely
They-
raised my eyebrows a little bit.
Yeah, it does, a little bit. Yeah.
If they're doing that, calling that place, as anybody calls any other place that we don't know about.
Right.
But, so, just to your defense, you can call as a selectman, but was it here, Deering, Hillsborough?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
I
It
don't
could,
know.
it could have been in one of the surrounding towns. I don't know.
Could have been.
Right, but,
I don't know.
but it sounds like he's gonna find out,
It
so.
was a convenient report.
I think he's gonna find out, so. And you?
Mr. Bolton came in and asked us to discuss putting together a committee for,
I have that written down.
okay, for bridge reconstruction.
Before we start that, can we do something else?
Sure.
Another one of his requests?
Peasley to River, Peasley to.
Temporary
Eastern.
lift the no-through trucks for Peasley Hill Road?
Easily.
I'd really like Benji's opinion on that.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
Why didn't we ask
asked
him?
him.
I don't know,
He's here.
yeah, he was here.
That's
yeah.
2 more weeks to kick the can.
Well, I'd like to ask him. Well, we'll be in session next Monday
Okay,
though.
let's do this, let's go ahead, if the board's consensus is to lift it, conditional upon Benji's approval.
Benji's approval.
If Benji's
yeah.
okay with it, then you got a blessing.
I'm
Yeah,
good with that.
I don't see why not.
Yeah.
It's a temporary lift while the bridge is down like it was before, like, what, 4 or 5 years ago when we did it? Yeah,
Yeah.
so,
It's not an unreasonable request from him.
I don't think so. I don't, it wouldn't be my first
Last time we took the signs down at either end.
Yeah,
Okay.
Left the posts, but we took the signs down and then we put them back up when it was done.
Okay.
yeah.
I mean, I'd be okay with that if you think that's okay.
Do we need to vote on it?
I think we do, because I believe this board is the one that puts the restriction on the road.
Yeah, we moved it to restrict it, we have to motion to,
Unrestrict.
Temporarily.
Temporary lift the no-through trucks ban.
yep. But on the temporary, you really ought to put a sunset on it, because this board is not, we're not gonna be the same board, potentially.
When the bridge opens.
When the bridge opens up, so it has to have an automatic sunset.
Yeah, so the day that the bridge is open.
I would say till the end of 2023.
Okay.
That might be long.
Yeah, I was gonna say, they may have something long
whatever.
before that.
Yeah, but I don't think but if the bridge is open, they're not gonna climb that hill.
No, that'll be last resort.
That'll be their last resort. I know I wouldn't wanna climb that hill,
No.
loaded.
From a
But
desk?
definitely having a sunset, just because we don't know what the board makeup's gonna be, and it's
Yeah.
gonna be forgotten, and
It's a good point, John. Fair enough. I mean,
Yeah,
it's more than enough time.
But,
hopefully,
but definitely pending what, the DPW director's feeling,
Opinion, yep.
opinion on it. But I think that is something that we just didn't consider when we posted it.
And if he has an opinion and wants to discuss it, then we can discuss it at our next available meeting.
Correct, and there'll be no action taken until then.
Correct.
Oh, we're meeting next Monday at 6:30, so maybe we,
So we're not gonna do anything until the next Monday?
No, we are.
No, we're gonna make you wanna make a
Gonna make a
motion for
motion.
it?
What are the roads?
Peasley and.
It's just Peasley Hill.
Just Peasley Hill.
I make a motion that we temporarily lift the no trucking restriction, or is it truck?
No through trucks.
No
No
through
trucking.
trucking restriction on
Peasley.
Peasley Road or Peasley Hill?
Peasley Hill Road.
On Peasley Hill Road, to be reinstated December 31st, 2023.
Second.
With,
Conditional,
Conditional upon DPW director's approval.
Second.
moved and seconded, all in favor?
Yes.
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 Abstain.
Why the abstention? Why the abstention?
Because of conversations we've had. That's all.
Okay.
All right, and then back to your
The other
Other
topic
topic.
he brought up,
Yes.
his request for a
subcommittee.
subcommittee of sorts, to include a selectman and a couple of other people. I'm not opposed to the idea, I'm just wondering, is it gonna be beneficial? Did we have one for the highway garage, because I don't remember.
Yeah, we had a
Yeah, we
group.
did.
It
We
was a
initially-
large group,
We initially did, right, but not through the whole project.
We did all the way through.
all the
Oh,
way
we
through.
did. We did, okay.
We did all the way through, all the way to selecting your hire.
Yeah.
So he mentioned Ben, he wants Ben. He said he would be
Himself.
willing, or his daughter,
She's got a mechanical engineering degree.
civil, he said,
Civil.
civil.
He
And civ-
requested Selectman
civil's-
Cahill,
civil's the one
which
you
I
want.
have no issue with.
Yeah, he requested you, I have no problem with that if you're okay with
Well,
that.
yeah, I gotta think about this, only because I don't wanna get the targeting rap again,
Yep,
Okay,
okay? That all of a sudden I have an over-interest in. I mean,
Understandable.
understood.
I would definitely be beneficial to this, because I do understand,
your knowledge and background make you a good candidate for it.
yeah,
I would
and I
agree.
would do it, but it just has to, everybody has to understand that there's no motive except for trying to get this thing done.
Okay.
Okay? So that, if we include Tom Marshall, Ben, Chris, myself, and the alternate, his daughter, that makes up a committee.
That's a committee, that's not a bad
Is
committee.
that 4 bodies or
It's
5?
four, it's four
And
with an
Ben,
alternate.
And
Or with
Ben,
an alternate.
That's four with an ant, that's big with
I
Ben.
included him.
Yeah, it's-
It goes Tom, Ben, Chris, myself, and alternate, his daughter, I don't know her name.
Frankie.
So since I wasn't here last week, how come it went from a temporary bridge and all this?
Ah,
to
yes.
what we're doing now?
We'll bring up to speed. So because of the timing, it was, Director Knapp stood up there and he asked about the timing of the bridge, the temporary bridge. So we did all the surveying. It's viable. It's close by a hair, but it's viable. But we still have to get the permitting, the shoreline permits, et cetera. 300,000 for a bridge, and the timeline, he thought he could have it up before winter, and that's not gonna happen. So he reconsidered and said, do we just take the hit for the 3 months that the deck would be off? Or do we wait, and everything has to happen most likely in spring anyways, so do we just take the hit for 3 months in the spring? Or do we take the 3-month hit, $300,000 hit, put the temporary bridge up, and then we're short for the bridge?
So then we have to try to sell the temporary bridge.
And then we sell a temporary bridge for 50%, 60%, 25%, who knows? And the director asked if it was what our consensus was as a board, and the consensus was at the time to just
put a new,
bite the bullet, shut the road down.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Redo the beams as, the repair on our dime to get it back to full full rating, without a temporary bridge. It would suck, yes, it's gonna suck, but,
Yeah,
there's a couple ways around it, but, yeah. So that's how we derived to that.
Okay.
There should be, we've made an investment of probably Well, the last time I had checked, somewhere around 25 grand in the survey. So I would hope that we don't lose that. In other
No,
words-
because I think we need that anyways for
Well, that's
that,
what I mean,
that
but
parcel.
we don't lose it. In other words, you gotta file so that that gets put away somewhere, because there's a sizable amount of money we invested.
Right, and we also need it too for that lot that's ours when we finally get rid of it,
I don't know that you ever wanna get rid of it.
or whatever it may be,
That
yeah.
bridge is always gonna be a problem.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good staging area, it's a couple acres.
But now we know where our property line is, et cetera, like you said, there's a lot of time and money invested in that, so
Yeah,
yeah.
but so what I'm saying is
Just
that
put
could
it on
easily,
file.
that could easily fall through the cracks and
Yeah.
be like gone. Because I haven't physically seen a piece of paper on this project.
You paid the bills?
Well, the only thing I've seen is that and a couple of early emails, but but nothing tangible that I can say.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the survey consisted of. I
Okay,
mean, sort of walking around down there myself.
okay. Well, I think that's, the documents have to be somewhere,
Well, that's what I mean, but I don't know where.
so, yeah.
So we can make a request that we get those documents from whoever did that work,
Or
beside
we-
the bill.
At least into the file. I mean, I really wouldn't know what I'm looking at as far as surveying, but, like you said, they should probably be on file somewhere.
Yeah, otherwise-
Hard copy stored,
Yeah, we paid for them.
right, yeah, so,
So we'll wait for John, but,
yeah. I don't see there being a problem with the subcommittee.
let's set a timeline for it though, so that, again, it doesn't just become some lingering, like when are we gonna, if we start this, when do we report to the board? Like,
Well, I think,
we do it once
I
a
think in the,
month?
I think in the essence of time, I don't think the committee should be formed until probably next week.
Yeah, of course.
I think we should form it probably, officially form it next week.
We'll get Tom Marshall's agree upon.
Right, along with others.
Right. Yep,
we.
of course, but he's
we go from there.
only outside the house.
Right,
Right.
but along with others and go from there. But I don't think it's a bad idea, like I said, it's a good chunk of money, so probably wouldn't hurt to have that a little bit, I don't wanna call it oversight, but just
Bouncing ideas around.
input and,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly, and visibility. So, we're gonna wait till next week, for all parties. We don't think it's a bad idea on the committee, but just to firm everything up next week.
And if everybody could just be thinking about how you want the committee to report back to the board,
And a timeline of when.
so we can start to create an actual schedule around goals. That's all.
Monthly?
Once a
Monthly,
month.
once we start a process, once a month, say, this is where we're at, and that's it.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
And it can be written communication, doesn't have to be in front
Well,
of.
the board would probably be
Maybe email.
abolished the minute everything is underway, and then there'll be a project
No,
manager.
because it sounded like the previous subcommittee was.
The garage was
All the way until the
right through
garage
the
was
end.
done,
Yeah.
right?
So it probably wouldn't hurt to leave it all on key,
Yeah,
right to the
Okay.
end.
I think it's better.
Just to follow suit of what we did in the past.
Yeah, I don't know what Chris's, how much time he's gonna wanna, but we could have some form of reporting back on a monthly basis as a
Either
thing.
via email, electronically, through.
Yeah,
direct
okay,
To Naomi.
okay.
Yeah.
And then she
But
can put it in the
initially-
Report.
Yeah, initially, let me use the word, a defined scope of work, not just talking, hypothetical, it's an erector set, rip the deck
Right.
off.
But I
No, a
think-
defined,
I think that's gonna come with Tom's.
yeah, that's what I mean,
expertise, right?
agreed.
Yeah.
But that's what we wanna let you guys know. It'll be, whatever, there's 15 days to remove bridge deck, prepare for steel, an actual schedule we can look at.
And we-
As you said, you're a calendar guy, I get it.
Yeah, and we
Yeah, I
got,
am.
we got that with, I remember that big step chart for the DPW garage.
Yeah, okay.
You remember that big step chart and the finale? So yeah,
Yeah.
that's probably not a bad idea, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Then we can keep our finger on the pulse
Mm-hmm.
without someone coming in and reporting us, and we know what question to ask.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Fine.
All right, good.
Any other correspondence, other business?
Do you want to address the last one you got today?
Which one was that?
Horse Hill, Horse Spring Hill?
Can we do that in public?
Why can't you?
I don't know, I'm just asking.
Yeah, I'm just, I'll respond back, but,
So to me, that, the variance is not transferable, correct?
Yeah, it rides with the land.
Oh, it does ride with the land,
yeah.
oh, okay.
So there's a couple things,
I thought it rode with the owner.
which I'd be happy to, and I'm not gonna use names. I'll get back to the owner. What we found was the variance was issued in August of 2018.
I thought it was a while ago.
August of 2018, let me just backstep, July 24th of 2018, the state representatives amended the state law, effective then, that any variance was only good for 2 years. So the variance after, so August 7th, that variance was only good till August 8th of 2020.
Okay.
In between then, you guys saw them to remove a stone wall so they could make a driveway. In November of 2019, the variance was issued, there was 3 parcels. The variance was issued with a stipulation that there'd only be 2 homes there on a shared driveway.
Yep. It sounds like
That was
that's what,
condition number 6 on the variance.
and that sounds like that's what's gonna be
And
conveyed to
so
the
what
next one.
happened in 2019 is they went to the planning board for a voluntary merger. And according to state law, once you want to voluntarily merge something together, the only thing to undo it requires current regulations that you have to abide by. So right now, it's one big lot. So you can't have 2 dwellings on one big lot.
No.
The merger occurred after this variance. So they did the variance, they had the variance for the 2 houses. I don't know what talked who into what, I wasn't doing it. November of 19, it was approved to take 3 lots into 1. So once you take 3 lots into 1, you can't put 2 houses on it.
No,
So I gotta get Laura, so it's not a matter of
just the variance.
renewing it.
It's something
The
totally different.
renewal can't happen because that's state law, it's not my law.
How many acres is this property?
Now,
I don't know how many.
Approximate.
and this is the one off River Road, right?
Yeah, the
Around the hill.
the driveway's been roughed in.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Is this not subdividable by the planning
It
board?
wasn't before, it was a private road.
It wasn't, but when you created one bigger lot, does it fall under the subdividable, minimum?
Not if you don't have enough frontage.
No,
It wasn't a private road, it was a class 6, right? Okay, all right,
Yeah, someone had to build the road to make 3 houses. You can do a common drive to 2, not
Right,
to 3.
right.
Which is why the zoning board said 2.
2, correct.
And then I don't know what happened, I don't know any of the correspondence, but between the approval in November of 2019, all those lines got washed away, so it's been one big lot since 2019.
Okay,
And now fast forward to 2022,
here we
you
are.
can't put 2 houses on one lot, regulations
Sounds like
don't
a
allow it.
start over.
You know, the only thing you can do is an ADU.
Right,
So what I'm gonna ask Laura to do before I honestly, I mean,
reply.
it's not as easy as that.
no,
And I don't know what the ramifications are when you changed from what you had a variance for, does that become null and void? I don't know.
okay. All right.
So I'm just gonna ask
Do a little
Laura,
digging.
and then I'll let you know how the result of that is, but it's not a simple answer.
Okay.
So I don't, I'll reply and we're gonna have to let legal look at it, there's too many intricate things that,
Yeah.
that have to be done.
That's fine, okay. Anything else? Board?
No.
Okay, so we'll go into non-public, under RSA 91A3, Roman numeral 2, A and C. And after we come out of that, we're going to adjourn. So, thank you, everyone.
Finish up.
Oh, I need a second.
You have a second, you have to do your roll call.
Moved and seconded, roll call, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Roll call is affirmative, yes.
Okay.
Have a good night.